everybody, Dana Litwin here again, and welcome back to Tuesday Tips for Leaders of Volunteers. This week, a tiny preview, a little taste of a brand new webinar topic I have coming up on September 24th with Get Connected by Galaxy Digital, and the webinar is Designing Sustainable Volunteer Roles for Maximum Impact. The link to register is in the video description below. Again, this is a completely free new 1-hour webinar. And just to give you a little taste of what we're talking about, what is a sustainable volunteer role? First of all, a sustainable volunteer role is impactful to the organization's mission and community. It's meaningful to the volunteers that are in that role. And most importantly, it's human-centered and data-supported. Not data-driven. There are times to be data-driven in volunteer engagement. This is a time to be human-centered and data-supported so that whoever, ideally a huge variety of people, are able to do that role, but whoever is in that role, even if it's many different people doing it throughout the week or the month, each person elevates the role by who they are, by the individual that they are, and what they bring to it with their knowledge and skills and experience. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be a complicated role with complicated tasks. It can be, that's fine. It also doesn't have to be completely customized to someone's schedule. Maybe it is as a special project. Someone can do it on their own time. But even for roles that absolutely need to be done, they have to be done at a certain time, at a certain place, like in healthcare or animal services or other human support services like food banks and things. You just have to do certain things at a certain place at a certain time. You can still design roles to have that maximum impact and also that are sustainable so that people aren't just churning through the roles. It's not just sign up and then flake out and sign up and flake out, or do it for a little while and then decide to ghost the agency because someone's having a bad time. I talked about that, how to do good role descriptions in another Tuesday Tips, The Problem with Penguins. If you haven't seen that, it's one of my most popular videos. Check that out here. I want to talk about how human resources recruiting and volunteer engagement recruiting are really the inverse of each other. Human resources recruits by screening many people down to one person filling one role. Volunteer engagement ideally recruits many different kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds and experiences and ages, any other way you measure demographics. Many different people can fulfill one same role. Now, the common challenges to this that I've come across over the years and kind of helped inspire me to do this as a new topic is that a phenomenon where one person's talent or knowledge is holding everything together. They're the Jenga piece in the volunteer services team. This can also happen with paid staff, but I see this a lot where that one volunteer knows how everything's done and they have the knowledge locked in their head and it isn't written down anywhere, and heaven forbid they decide to leave or something happens to them and they can't do it anymore, and all of that knowledge and experience is lost, and it's going to be really hard to get someone else up to speed. So that's the most common challenge I see. The next most common challenge is an inaccurate role description. So again, back to the problem with penguins, where someone's feeling like they've been baited and switched, where the role description is too vague or it's just not accurate to the experience they're really having. And that very understandably leads to a lot of churn and burnout and people not being retained as volunteers in that role at least. And then there's the role that it's always something we've done and nobody's really sure if it's useful or helpful anymore. Maybe it's nice to have, it's nice for those volunteers to come in and do that, but there isn't any attachment of what they're doing in that role, what people are doing to the organization's metrics of its mission or strategic pillars. So we're going to talk about that in this webinar on the 24th as well. Also, the most important, whether something is drop-in, episodic, or it's a recurring role that's going to happen over several months or kind of in perpetuity, we want to make sure that we're never just doing busy work, that it's meaningful, important work, that the tasks themselves are directly tied to the success of the organization fulfilling its mission, are directly tied to community benefits, and how to do all that. I'll explain more in the webinar. When the webinar is going live, I hope you join me on the 24th. Register for it. Again, it's free, got nothing to lose. But if you register, I think you can also get an archived copy of the webinar afterwards. So if you don't have time on Thursday the 24th, still register for it and you can get a recording of it down the line. So I hope you enjoy these Tuesday tips. I hope to see you for designing sustainable volunteer roles for maximum impact. I think I've given you enough of a taste to start to think about that topic before we all talk about it as a group and have a discussion and a learning event together. And if you enjoy Tuesday Tips and Priceless Advice, please become a subscriber if you're not yet. Please like this video. If you enjoyed it, share it with your colleagues and hit the little bell to know when I have new videos uploading. And I hope to see you all on September 24th. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.